All right, continuing from yesterday, the song Do What I Gotta. This is part two about the group Black Toast. So yesterday talked about them coming over, recording their first song, Scandalous, and then a Scandalous remix. And then on October 17th, 91, they came over and I made the beat for Do What I Gotta, the song that's the first track on the mixtape. I made that beat and then I didn't see him for a few weeks. I got an early morning call on November 16th, 91 with Showboat. He had this guy named D Smooth on the phone with him, who I never heard of. D Smooth had just moved there from Oakland. And he was telling me how he opened up for DJ Quick and Too Short. And he had just got here. And somehow, even though he had just got here, he had an opportunity to do some audition for a record deal in Chicago and needed a beat. And I was just like, well, anyone can come. You don't have to, open up for Too Short to be here, but cool. So I invited them to come over to the studio, and they came over like later that day. And D Smooth is an interesting character, and he plays a part in a few things in his time in my life and on this mixtape. Actually, the beat for another song on this project, The Legend of Lake County, started as a D Smooth beat for this audition, this thing. So we'll speak about that later with that song. But he was a guy with a lot of ideas, a lot of passion, but sometimes he would just be a little overzealous with it, or a lot overzealous with it. And yeah, and he really wanted to be a rapper, but he was actually probably better suited for other things. So we'll get to all that. So on 11/17, Black Man Zeke, who was helping out, I was living with him and his pops, and he was basically my right-hand man for anything but Rage Productions at that point, because Mad Max had he had disappeared for a little while. And then so Zeke drove Showboat and D Smooth to this audition where actually Showboat was the one that shined, and they wanted to sign him. But it was one of those deals where like you go for this audition to some unknown company for a free single and a video, and then nothing ever comes from it. So that's what happened. Nothing ever came from that I recall. And then it was like a week later after that Showboat came over by himself without Slo Mo, and we finished the beat for Do What I Gotta. But that same day, like while he was there, another group who I met through D Smooth called Source of Style came by for the first time to do an audition, and they auditioned over the beat to track 2, which we'll talk to in about in a couple of days. So this is how all these stories sort of interact. And the last kind of main memory I have of Black Toast, because like I said, this is a really short part in time. They're one of my favorite groups I ever worked with, but it was basically October 91 through December 91, and that was it. And then they sort of disappeared. I'm not sure what happened, or I don't remember what happened. But 12/14/91 at the Lakehurst Bowling Alley, I ran into them, and there with this other guy who told me he wanted to come to the studio and do something. And I was aware of this person, but I don't think they had an MC name yet. But the members of Source of Style, who I had known for a little while now, had told me about a guy they went to school with that had one dope rhyme. And I was like, one dope rhyme. So this was one rhyme guy. That's why I was calling him the one rhyme guy. You one rhyme guy? He's like, yeah, I'm the one, I'm the guy with the one rhyme. And so I invited him to the studio, and that person, he eventually became known as Crypto. Now he's known as I-Chypha the God, but that's sort of the roots of how we met. So all these stories connected from D Smooth to Black Toast to D Smooth, Source of Style to Crypto to I-Chypha the God to all that. And me and I-Chypha got new music together. So it's like the story still continues. And as far as Black Toast, man, like I said, one of my all-time favorite groups I worked with, even though it was a short time. Showboat, I say he has to be in the conversation for one of the all-time best Lake County MCs. He has it all: the voice, the flow, the presence, the lyrics. He's got the nice comedic value. He's a funny dude. So he's a personality. And personality, that's Slo Mo, who actually passed away not too long ago, a few years ago now. And like, he was just like this amazing presence. He just walked in a room and you could feel this presence. He just brightened up any room that he walked into. He had this amazing energy. And I don't even think he really was a writer. He was just off the top of the head. He would just say the most bugged out thing. He was about creative styles. He was passionate about just being himself. So that was like how I think about Slo Mo. So rest in peace, Slo Mo. Shout out Showboat. And yeah, Black Toast. What a great name. And we gotta clean up those demos and share some Black Toast with the peoples, because it needs to be heard. Yeah. And tomorrow we'll talk about the lyrics to the song "Do What I Gotta," the autobiography of that time, and me and my days at Mickey D's, and how it was my office hours for getting into the studio. Yeah.